Caleb Williams should pull a Eli Manning and demand that the Chicago Bears do not draft him #1 overall. After everything that's happened with just Justin Fields, can Caleb Williams really look at that and say, you know what? This is the organization that has my best interests at heart, and they're going to help develop me into the player that I want to become. Caleb Williams is on record saying that he wants to be legendary. He wants to rewrite history, and he wants to be the best that he can possibly be and win the most games he can possibly win. After the Bears took Justin Fields, the 11th pick in the draft, and turned him into a 6th round pick in the 2025 draft by trading him to the Pittsburgh Steelers, can Caleb Williams really look at that and say, you know what? Yeah, this organization is going to help get me where I want to go. I don't think it's saying that. So, for Caleb Williams, don't get me wrong, guys. I thought Ryan Poles was having an amazing offseason up until this trade for Justin Fields, because you trade Justin Fields so you can get some players back to help your team out this year. Because Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus, the head coach for the Chicago Bears, they're in a lame duck season. They have to win this year or they're going to get fired.
Woo! When RG3 said all of that in the offseason this summer, a lot of people criticized him, myself included. But here we are in week 16 of the NFL season, and it seems like RG3 was a prophet. Like he came from the future when he sprouted all that craziness back this summer. Actually, RG3 was just using the history of the organization as his logic for why Caleb Williams should demand a trade. So, folks, it pains me to say this, but I think the Chicago Bears have done the impossible. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Bears Yard, your home of opinionated Chicago Bears talk. This your boy Vipe, and oh my goodness, the Chicago Bears, for the first time in my lifetime, chose a quarterback with the #1 overall pick. But not just any old quarterback. Oh, no. The Chicago Bears chose one of the most highly touted quarterbacks of the past 10 years in USC's Caleb Williams. This dude has been talked about. He's been rumored to be the #1 pick for years. If he would have came out last year, he would have been #1. So the Bears got, in a lot of people's eyes, a generational talent. And here we are, week 16 into his first NFL season, and we're wondering, hell, should he have demanded a trade and not play for the Chicago Bears? So how did we get here? So if we go back to the offseason, right, and all the moves that the Bears organization, Ryan Poles, made up until the draft and after the draft and whatnot. So we know that at the end of last season, one of the biggest problems for the Chicago Bears was their offensive line. It wasn't good last year. It's not good this year. But the biggest questions were, how would you prepare Caleb Williams to be successful in his rookie season? So Ryan Poles, in his infinite wisdom, in order for him to make the offensive line better, this is what he did. He traded for Ryan Bates, somebody who was trying to get for 2 years from Buffalo. So Buffalo finally traded him, and Ryan Poles got him on the Bears. Probably going to be the center, but then he got injured and things had to be rearranged or whatever. So he ended up playing guard more than us. But Ryan Bates has been injured more this season more often than not, so he hasn't really played much. And when he played, been all right-ish, nothing special. Also, Ryan Poles went out and signed Coleman Shelton to a 1-year, $3 million deal. The Rams, Sean McVay, Super Bowl champion, let Coleman Shelton go, okay? Even though Coleman Shelton started every game for the Rams last season, McVay let him go. So Ryan Poles, in his infinite wisdom, thought that picking up Coleman Shelton off the scrap heap was going to be good enough for him prized rookie quarterback Caleb Williams. And that's not even the end of it, y'all. So he traded for Ryan Bates. He signed Coleman Shelton in free agency. And then he waited to the 3rd round of this year's NFL draft to go ahead and get Karan Amagaji, a project, keyword project, out of Yale. And the thing about Karan Amagaji is that he was coming off of a significant quad injury, so he wouldn't even be ready for the season anyway. So to protect your prize rookie quarterback again, you traded for Ryan Bates, who the Bills were willing to let go for a trade, and you signed Coleman Shelton, who the Rams said, we're done with him. And you drafted a project in the 3rd round in Karan Amagaji. I don't know about y'all, but that does not scream protection for your prime rookie quarterback when you're bargain basement shopping on the offensive line like Ryan Poles has been apt to do since he's become GM in 2022. But especially in this offseason when we all knew he was going to draft Caleb Williams, that's what he did to prepare. And then in the draft, he did draft Rome Odunze to pair with Caleb. So I think most of us liked that move at the time, although some of us now are wondering maybe you should have got a lineman with the 9th pick. And that is fair, but I don't know if many people are going to be complaining about Rome Odunze. I mean, usually when you get a quarterback receiver pairing, it's good. But in this situation with Caleb, the offensive line has been trash, so those two haven't really had a chance to mesh as they should. But going back to the putrid crappiness of the offensive line, it is so bad that Caleb Williams is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL this season, currently sacked 58 times. And if we look at the history of rookie quarterbacks and how often they were sacked, look at the graphic, y'all. David Carr has the NFL record for sacks in a season with 76. Then you got Bryce Young last year, 62. Caleb Williams on the graphic at 56, but now he's at 58. And then Tim Couch back in 99 got sacked 56 times. I want you all to look at those quarterbacks on that graphic. Are any of them setting the world on fire in the NFL? Don't worry, I'll wait. Nope, none of them. We're still wondering about Bryce Young, although he's only in his second year, so the jury's still out. David Carr never amounted to anything in the league, and Tim Couch never amounted to anything in the league either. So if you look at the history of rookie quarterbacks and how often they get sacked, it doesn't paint a very rosy picture for the future of Caleb Williams. But if we look at Caleb Williams' stats this year, in the midst of all of this turmoil, all of this inefficiencies and injuries at the O-line, he has a 61.9% completion percentage. Could be better, obviously. He's about to throw for 3,000 yards this season, which is something that Bears quarterbacks just don't do. His touchdown to interception ratio is 17-5, which is kind of amazing given everything that he's gone through. And he has the NFL rookie record for passes thrown without an interception, which again, crazy, because again, he's under fire constantly. And his QBR is 48. By the statistics alone, Caleb Williams has had an amazing rookie season in the NFL, given the fact that his line is putrid and the injuries that have been in and around the line and all that stuff, the things that he's dealt with. He's done good. But if he keeps getting hit, I don't know what that's going to do for his mental headspace. I mean, he's already getting his body language scrutinized by Emmanuel Acho and Dan Orlovsky and other national pundits. Bro, I'm going to need y'all to calm down. Did y'all see the man get hit by Jonathan Grinner on the play before he went to the bench and killed over in pain? It's not that he's uninterested, you all. It's that he took a nasty sack before then. That's why his body language was in there. Emmanuel Acho, why don't you go out there trying to play NFL quarterback behind the Bears offensive line and see how you feel after a game, my guy, and then come back and comment on somebody's body language. Some of these problems are on Caleb Williams himself, though, because he does tend to play a little bit too much hero ball. He does hold the ball too long, and that can get him in trouble. But I think by and large, the failures this year are more on the organization than they are on Caleb Williams himself. But he is to blame a little bit, just a tiny little bit. But I still put more blame on the org. So the question then becomes, where do we go from here? Matt Eberflus was fired, so we are in the midst of a head coaching search. This head coach hire is the most critical coaching hire in the history of the Chicago Bears organization. They have to get it right. And if you listen to the insiders out there like Albert Breer and Adam Schefter and others, it does seem the Bears are leaning towards hiring or targeting an offensive-minded head coach to be a partner with Caleb Williams, which is what he needs, because he's going through so much change and turmoil in his rookie season that they have to prioritize putting a coach in place that's going to be here for a long time so he can put his career on an upward trajectory and Caleb doesn't have to worry about losing somebody. I mean, I love the thought of bringing Mike Vrabel in, but I don't love the thought of him hiring a coordinator that Caleb could lose if they have success. We put this dude through too much change already in his rookie season. Bring in an offensive head coach who can call the plays, who can be partnered up with Caleb, and they can grow a relationship together, and Caleb can grow and mature into the quarterback that he can become. And Ryan Post, for the love of God, if you're going to remain GM of the Chicago Bears, Ryan Post, listen to me very closely. Your primary focus this offseason is the offensive line. If you draft a skill player or if you draft anything other than line with the first 3 picks, we coming to Hallis, fam. We are coming to Hallis Hall, and you're not going to like what happens next, son. You know what to do, Ryan Poles. Don't be crazy, okay? We don't know if Ryan Poles is going to survive at the end of the season. He might be fired, but by all accounts, he's going to remain the GM according to Kevin Warren. So, Ryan Poles, you have one job this offseason. Focus all your efforts and energy on improving that offensive line. You have enough resources to do it. You have premium draft capital. You have an amazing amount of money on the salary cap. You have everything that you need to bolster the offensive line this offseason, Ryan Poles. There is no excuses anymore, fam. Your deficiencies and your weaknesses have shown up and killed this man's rookie season. You've had 2 coaches fired. Your line is getting ran through like a turnstile at an airport or a subway station. And the dude is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL. Ryan Poles, it is time to own up to your mistakes and do the things that need to be done to give Caleb Williams the fighting chance next season. So that is where I'm looking at this offseason. So Bear fans, what do you think about what happens next? Do you agree with me that we should focus on the offensive line and get Caleb Williams right and give him everything that he needs? What are your thoughts on the next head coach? Drop a comment and subscribe to the Yard for more Bears talk.